One of the criminals who were hanged there kept deriding him and saying, "Are you not the Messiah? Save yourself and us." But the other rebuked him, saying, "Do you not fear God, since you are under the same sentence of condemnation? And we indeed have been condemned justly, for we are getting what we deserve for our deeds. But this man has done nothing wrong." Then he said, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your heaven." He replied, "Truly, I tell you today, you will be with me in paradise." So I'll always remember excruciating pain after a medical procedure, no painkillers allowed. I can see myself lying in bed, moaning in pain, pain radiating throughout my body. So I left my body. And okay, I'm the sort who imagines all the time. Imagination, that's me. So I left my body. I rose up, gliding an inch or two from the ceiling, from which height I looked down at my body, lying on the bed, writhing in pain. I entered an altered state of being. Imagine that. So too, I'm guessing my 35-year-old son, the writer, who grew up only a few blocks from the Riverside church, who played on Columbia University's campus, who attended Columbia's nursery school as well as Riverside's toddler Sunday school, where his father was a parent classroom helper. Well, my son's a writer now, great imaginer. And so my son has experience with various forms of crucifixion in 20th and 21st century America, as a young Black man while walking, as a young Black man while driving, as a young Black man while breathing. And my son, the writer, uses his vast and ever-present imagination to enter another state of being as young Black man while fill in the blanks. He negotiates, seeking safe space, justice space, love space. Wait, is that akin to seeking paradise in America? Imagine Jesus on the cross, arms stretched beyond endurance, palms nailed to the cross, feet nailed to the cross. And I'll depart from our Luke text to go to John's gospel, John's imagination brimming with symbolism. So me and John imagining here, okay? So we find Jesus on the cross bearing a crown of nettles, thorny nettles, piercing his head, breaking all the sensitive nerve endings that rush through Jesus's head, firing, like the popo. Blue uniforms and my son's lived experience as young Black man while fill in the blanks. So Jesus, from head to toe, hanging from the cross in excruciating pain. Well, Jesus just might leave his body, right? He might just slip into a place of peace, of love, of justice. Wait, turns out Jesus actually knows there is a place like that. Jesus actually believes he's been promised a place like that. So now I'm seeing with a bit more clarity that Jesus has always lived in an altered state while human on earth. And actually, hasn't Jesus always invited everyone he's ever encountered, even that criminal hanging on the cross next to him? Well, the one who repents and asks to be remembered in heaven. Hasn't Jesus always invited all whom he's ever encountered to believe they can access, can gain entry to an altered state, to believe they can create an altered state, one of equity, love, justice, right here on earth as it is in heaven? Wait, that's paradise, right? Like my son, who received his Bible lessons from Sunday school here at Riverside, and even got his very own Bible from Riverside Sunday school teachers in a ceremony right there in the nave when he was in middle school, and in the nave too, at high school graduation awards ceremony. Well, my son and I were taught that, truly I say to you today, you shall be with me in paradise, is Jesus addressing the criminal who also crucified for a crime the criminal admits committing, unlike the other guy on the other side of Jesus. Yes, even as Jesus was suffering so greatly, suffering unimaginable, Jesus is still extending humans he encounters even on the cross, his invitation to live in an altered state. Okay, paradise. So crucifixion. It ensures a slow, excruciating death calculated to prolong suffering. And this too is critically important. Crucifixion also ensures that lots of people get to see the crucified body over a long period of time. Something like, Fox News and 24/7 news loop. Crucifixion. You get to keep the populace in terror, in fear. You get to keep broadcasting. See what happens if you... And really, what would be the good of a quick and painless death when you could, for instance, press your knee down on a man's neck for, say, 9 minutes or so people could witness it? Or let's say, grab somebody by the neck in a chokehold while they gasped, begging you to release them again and again until, they stop begging and, stop breathing. So there's Jesus hanging nailed to the cross, alive again. That's key to the malevolent message being broadcast. A morbid sight, yet who actually turns away? I know that I, as a mother, could not turn away. Every breath of my son's life, every ragged breath of my son's life, both a joy and tormenting anguish. So too, I'm imagining Jesus's mother. So too, I'm imagining her standing, looking up at her son, at his body crucified on the cross, hearing his labored, gasping breathing. And still Jesus actually talking not only to the crucified, repentant, wanting to be remembered in the kingdom man next to him, but to all who encounter him on the cross. Truly, I tell you today, you shall be with me in paradise. I research paradise. It's the state of the righteous after death. It's the Greek word in transliteration of ancient Persian for a king's garden. It's God's heaven where love and justice prevail. It's described by Jesus as my Father's house. Or jumping back to John with its different timeline from Luke, Synoptic Gospels, of course, where in John, Mary Magdalene thinks Jesus is the gardener. So Paris, the Garden of Eden? Oh, how I love imagining. But not only that, I love believing in both images of paradise, heavenly paradise, as well as the restoration of paradise on earthly Eden. I can see my son, the writer, who loves the word, and I can see all our children living this paradise. Let us imagine this, believe we can create this paradise as we pray in the Lord's Prayer, thy kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven.